Yeah.
Hinchey!
Thank you.
Congressman Hinchey.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be here on this beautiful day and on this very, very important circumstance here. I got up late last night because, I'm up from Washington late last night because I was so grateful for the invitation of being here with you and to have an opportunity to say a couple of things about this wonderful man, George Clinton. So let me just begin by saying it's a great pleasure to join all of you gathered here today to celebrate the life and legacy of perhaps one of the most uncelebrated of our founding fathers, George Clinton. As we stand here it's a little breezy. As we stand here in the shadow of the old Dutch church, a national historic landmark, and the heart of the Stockade Historic District, it should be very clear to all of us what a significant role the Hudson Valley played in the founding of our nation. From the adoption of New York's first Constitution at the Ulster County Courthouse on April 20th, 1777, to the Revolutionary War battles on the Hudson and Constitutional Ratification Convention held across the river in Poughkeepsie. So much of what makes the Hudson Valley, New York, and our nation what all of it is today. All of that and more can be attributed to this region and in great measure to the actions of this wonderful man. As most of you already know, George Clinton was a native of Ulster County, born in 1739 in Little Britain, which is now part of Orange County, but back then it was still in Ulster. His public career was nothing short of astonishing, beginning in 1759, when he was appointed the clerk of the Ulster County Court of Common Pleas, an office he held for the remainder of his life, and ending in 1812, just before beginning his third term as Vice President of the United States. In between, he studied and then practiced law, was elected to the New York Assembly, and when relations between England and the colonies declined during the early 1770s, he emerged as a leader among Hudson Valley, among landlords who strongly opposed continued British rule, strongly opposed. To his credit, Clinton's role as leader of the Patriots and as the father of New York, as he is often called, might well have been the beginning of the long-standing tradition of community spirit and cooperation that runs through the fabric of the Hudson Valley. This community spirit helped to define the Hudson Valley as a region back then as much as it does still today. During my early years in Congress, I introduced legislation to establish the Hudson River Valley National Historic Heritage Area. And when President Bill Clinton signed this important legislation into law in 1996, it now only helped to protect and preserve the important historic sites and the scenic beauty of our region. It also officially recognized this civic spirit as an implement that defines the Hudson Valley as a wonderful and marvelous community. George Clinton took part in many of the events that lay the foundation of our nation, and he did so. He was a delegate to the Second Continental Congress, and although he voted in favor of the Declaration of Independence, he never had the chance to sign the document. In fact, he gave up his seat to assume the position of Brigadier General in the New York Militia, and then went on to earn a Brigadier General's commission in the Continental Army. As I understand it, Clinton was a man of few words, and in general, not really fond of being a legislator. In fact, his opinion of legislative service was quite harsh. Once Clinton saying that, and I quote, "The duty of looking out for danger makes men cowards." Interesting, intelligent, insightful person he was.